You're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina, right here in your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. You're listening to a special broadcast dedicated to remembering Sarah Alarid. Sarah was last seen in the Santa Clarita Valley, leaving a New Year's Eve celebration in the wee hours of the morning on January 1st, 2013. Sarah's family initiated a massive search for her involving the media, law enforcement, firefighters, volunteers, social media, and the community at large. For unknown reasons, Sarah's car left the road on Sand Canyon, plummeting a few hundred feet into the hillside. Her silver 2002 Ford Focus was found along with her body on January 9th, 2013. And joining me in studio today are members of Sarah Alarid's family. We have three sisters, Chelsie, Kayla, Brook. We also have two of Sarah's friends joining us in studio today, Brianna and Jordon. Thank you guys for being here. First of all, I want to start off with giving my condolences to you and your family. Today, I would like to have this show be a memorial to your sister and your friend, and really talk about who she was. You know, I know for many weeks now, we've seen the pictures. You know, our hearts were hooked to the story, and feeling the compassion for what you guys are going through in those tough moments. But tell me about Sarah. Who was Sarah? What is Sarah about?
Sarah was about her family, her friends, her music, the things that she liked. You know, everything that was about her. That was Sarah, and that's everything that would represent her. And
her favorites, her TV shows, her concerts that she'd go to, watching her friends play in the garage, like with their bands.
Sarah was really close to her friends as well. Like, her friends were her family as well. She'd always want to be with her friends, go places with them, have them over, and be very close to them. She was also very close to her family as well, and her nieces and nephews. She loved them and adored them. She looked up to all of her older sisters.
She sounded like a lot of fun. Like, she was just fun to be around, right?
She always wanted to have fun and just be with everyone that loved her and who she loved. She just needed that comfort. Everyone loved her. She was the best person. Anyone got along with her. Nobody, she was just such a great person.
She's funny and witty.
Very outgoing.
Yeah.
Fearless. My sister didn't fear anything.
A little clumsy.
Yeah.
Very clumsy.
What do you mean by clumsy?
She had a lot of injuries throughout her life.
If there was a flat surface, she could trip over it for sure.
Even, I remember,
scrapes everywhere.
She would fall into ditches.
She would fall if there was nothing to fall over.
Yeah. Which made it funny, right?
Yeah.
You could always laugh at her.
I used to tell her, I'm going to put you in a box.
I heard some bubble wrap.
You're a hazard.
That's awesome. So if you can put a special moment that maybe you've shared with Sarah and that you'd be willing to share with us, what's the one memory that you remember most about her?
I personally have many. There was one, though. My sister was there when my son was born. She was in the delivery room with me and with Rigo. She was really close to my kids. But that was probably the best one because, I'm very, to myself, so I was like, no, nobody could go in there. And I was like, just Rigo. And then that was with my first daughter. And afterwards, I told Sarah, I was like, do you want to go in there? Do you want to be in the delivery room? She said, yeah. And I was like, well, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. But, it was funny because, I was ready to, deliver my son, and she went to go get food. And then I called her, I was like, you have to come right now. I was like, hurry. So she came running in, and then Rigo was feeling faint, and then she's like, she took over for him. So it was me and her, and then just, so she got to see my son being born. And I have many memories of her, but I just know that was a big one.
Absolutely.
Because that was such a big part of my life, and she got to share it with me.
She got to be my maid of honor at my wedding. I got married in Jamaica, so a lot of people couldn't make it, and my sisters, Brooke and Kayla, had just had children, so they couldn't make it since they had small children. So Sarah was the only sister that got to be at my wedding, and she was in my wedding. She was my maid of honor. She got to sign my marriage certificate. You know, that's something of course I treasure, but now even more so than ever. And since it was such a small wedding, we just got to hang out all day, and I think it was one of the first times I didn't treat her like she was my baby sister, and she was just a grown-up sister with me, and it was really fun, and I'm really glad she got to come and enjoy it. And I told her when she got out there, she loved to straighten her hair because she has this curly hair.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, Sarah, like, you can bring your hair straightener, but it's not going to really help too much. And she's like, what do you mean? And the first thing she does when she got out there, she calls me and she's like, why is it so humid? My hair is poofing out everywhere. And it was just like, I told you, but I'm so glad that she got to go out there and enjoy it and spend a week out there. And from what friends have told me, she talked about being in Jamaica. So I'm really glad I got to help her like experience that in her life, and she got to share that day with me and be part of it, because that was really important to me, to have a sister there and be part of something. So that's one of my memories.
I remember we were in maybe 9th grade. We would go dirt bike ridings. It was like probably for New Year's Eve or something. And Sarah would come with us. So we're there. Not that many people are there yet, but the adults went and took a ride. So it was just us kids. And it was getting night, so we started the fire. We're all sitting around by the fire, and rather than Sarah walk around the
I can
chairs,
tell it's gonna be funny, right?
she decided to step in front of the chairs and walk to a different seat. But instead of just walking in front of the fire, she steps on a rock, and it's all wobbly, and she fell over and stepped on the coals. She was wearing slippers, so she starts running around and like she's going in circles. Me and my friend think she's just laughing, like, oh, this was so funny. And then she started crying, and I was like, oh, this is serious. And like all the adults were out, so we were like panicking, and we put her in the motorhome, and I looked at it, and the first thing I smelled was burnt toenails. And I was like, oh my god, like I don't know what to do. And then they finally got there, and I was like, dude, you guys need to come in here, like this is serious. And then as soon as they came in, they were like, yeah, we need to go. So we threw her into the one of somebody's truck. I got in the back seat with her. My dad drove us. She was screaming and crying the whole time. She was holding my hand. I didn't have shoes on. We got to the hospital. She was straight into a room. I'm on the phone with Mike and Laura, her parents, as they're driving out to Ridgecrest. I'm on the phone with Laura trying to get down all her information, and she couldn't even talk. You know your mom.
Yeah.
So then I'm talking to your dad, and he's driving. He's getting mad at me because he's got to concentrate. He's speeding. And then they finally got there, and I just remember the last thing she said was, "Can I go back?"
Yeah.
And they got mad at her and like, no, you have to come home. And then she was mad because her pillow and her blanket and all that stuff, her straightener was
She
in the
can't live
motorhome.
without her straightener.
That was one of the funniest, best times I
Good
had
times.
with her.
The things that I always remember about my little sister was like every time like she always wanted me to like do her hair and her makeup. She was like my little experiment doll. Like she'd always want me to like dress her up because she didn't really like, she knew how to do her hair, but I think she always liked the way I did mine, so she'd always have me like straighten it and do her makeup. And
That's what little sisters are for, right?
Exactly.
Dress them up, try out stuff on
and
them.
I'd always dress her up, and like, cause my sister never wore makeup, so I'd make her look all glamorous, and I'd dress her up like in pretty dresses.
Remember
and,
photo shoots?
yeah, and I do pictures of her. Like I take pictures of her, and we'd always sit there and talk in the mirror and straighten our hair together, cause we both have the same kind of hair, so we just have like long talks in the bathroom and do our hair together.
I remember when we were little, like we all used to dress up like in our best.
Yeah.
And we would put on a little runway for my mom and dad. We'd make everybody like sit on the couch. And then Chelsie and Brooke would like present us.
Yeah.
We'd come out, they'd have like a curtain hung up, and
Yeah,
then we'd
she
come
was
out.
this really pretty little cherub baby. She had these
Oh yeah, we
curls.
called her a cherub.
Yeah,
Cause she looked like a little angel. She had like tight little blonde golden curls, blue eyes,
Yeah.
and
we
fair
loved dressing
skin.
her up. And we would dress her up, and we put like sheets on like our around our bedroom, so it looked like a little photo shoot, and we would take her picture.
I remember being over there when Kayla was still living at the house, and we would be like sneaking around her room, like using her perfume, and then Kayla would come home and yell at us and kick us out of the room. That was good times.
That's awesome. So listen, we're going to continue to memorialize Sarah Alarid. And you guys also want to make an announcement, and we'll do that towards the end of the show, about services, memorial services for her. So stay tuned for more. You're listening to Life Leadership with Alex Urbina right here on your hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS.